Speaking of anime, Transformers 1 is amazing.
Oh, just good, isn't it?
It looked
Yeah.
good. Is it funny?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked quite good. You went to see it with Mark, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, day after the Hickories.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved
I'd have to
it.
watch
We were killing ourselves.
Yeah.
What else did you get up to while you was up there?
We had a proper nerd fest. So we got through all of Vox Machina season 3. Loved that.
But yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, really good. And then we watched. We skipped Deadpool 1 because we'd both seen it a few times and went on to Deadpool 2 and 3 because they're now on Disney. So we watched those two, and then we watched Transformers 1 as well. So much fun.
Is it on streaming now? Transformers 1, or is it cinema only?
No, you can. It's on. You can get it on Prime, I believe. You have rent it on Prime. I think.
Is it the animated one?
Yeah. Gives a little bit more of the backstory as well, which is quite cool.
And Optimus Prime and Megatron as in their younger days or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The animation style gave me Spider-Man, like Into the Spider-Verse, like vibes.
Yeah. They are amazing. Those.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing the way they're done.
The only thing I like, well, like right at the end of Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like, it's the ending that gets me. It's like, oh man, it's quite clearly obviously set up for a third one, but I'm like, I need the next one now.
Yeah.
Have you seen the secret level shorts that they did on Amazon?
No, is that the new series? The
They
video
are
game
absolutely banging.
They're really good. I've only seen 3 of them. I watched the D&D one, the 40k one, and then because the 40k one finished and I was doing something, it went on to the Pac-Man one, which is just whoa. But the D&D one is properly good.
Like the D&D one, the Armored Core one with Keanu Reeves in, that's amazing. It's like proper kind of like gothic kind of robot fighting Gundam style. It's awesome. I watched it twice. I enjoyed it that much.
I love stuff like the standalone, like that stuff, Death and Robots and stuff. I love that kind of standalone little short stories.
There's the Unreal Tournament as well. So that's awesome.
Sifu.
Yeah, Sifu's really good because I enjoyed the game of Sifu, and that's quite good.
Wukong, by the way.
One was awesome. You are?
Yeah, beat Wukong. Yeah.
Have you?
Everybody, yeah. Lang wasn't that bad. Still think Yellow Long was like the hardest boss in the game. Just me.
Oh, yes, you're right. You might nearly be ready for Sekiro on easy mode then, Andy.
You can do an easy mode.
Yeah. You die like 6 or 7 times. It lets you. It there's like an automatic parry thing.
Really?
Mm. You get absolutely mocked for it.
Why?
It gives you like one of those achievements that's like easy modes for babies, that kind of thing. It's like one of them piss taking.
I don't mind that. I'm over.
It'll give you.
I've resigned to the fact I'm not amazing at video games anymore. Well, I never was, but yeah.
It'll give you your plat trophy though. That's the most important bit. Are you still playing Star Wars? The new what's the name one?
Outlaws.
Outlaws, yeah.
I know Platinum that a while ago. That's great. There's a new expansion out for it, I think. I don't think it adds much to the game, but
was it any good?
More missions and liked it, mate. Yeah, it's got a standard Ubisoft of it, kind of good, not spectacular. The Star Wars universe stuff. The characters are good. The combat's good. It's really enjoyable. Yeah, recommend it.
Did you play? Because what was the second part of like Cal's story? There's Jedi Survivor and Jedi.
No, Survivor was the second one.
Yeah, Survivor's the second one. Yeah.
Because I've not played. Yeah. I've played the first one of that, and that was good.
Yeah, Survivor's great, mate.
On
that.
I keep seeing it on offer on PlayStation at the moment, so I've debated it, but I'm still like far too addicted to Crusader Kings, someone like him.
Dark Path.
Oh man, it's a proper time sink.
Right. Well, I'm
addicted to a game called Balatro at the minute.
Yeah.
A poker game, but it's up for Game of the Year. The nominations for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Like a deck building roguelike game. You have to build your deck as you go along. Poker based. It's really, really good. My phone.
You can get Magic on your phone.
Hey? I'm not. Yeah. Like I spend too much money. But I've just had to delete Marvel Snap. I've been playing that for the last 3 years. Again, paying £10 a month for the privilege of playing that, so that's enough. There's the same with Hearthstone, though. I was addicted to that.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, £10 a month paying for that.
Well, that's all. You'll be playing Warhammer next, Andy. You're like, oh look, just an army there. There's £1,000, and then oh look, another £1,000.
I'm not doing it, Lou. I'm not doing it.
I always tell myself like I'm getting a bargain because I buy it second hand. Then I'm like, oh yeah, well it's only like £20 instead of £25, or it's only £20 instead of £30.
Yeah.
So just then buy twice as much.
I'm about to do a diorama. Doing Abaddon versus Girly-Man.
Girly-Man. Is that with the 40k ones?
Yeah.
Or the Horus Heresy? Oh, Abaddon's. Yeah.
Finally got my Iron Warriors praise. Yeah. Rowboat Girly-Man.
Oh, right, okay.
Bit like Peter Turbo. Turabo.
I don't know who that is.
He's the best Primarch ever.
I've not done any painting in ages.
No, I haven't picked my brush up. That's a question, actually. You know the 40k secret level thing? Is that the fella from the computer game?
Yeah. So the secret level is the mission that Titus gets sent on at the end of Space Marine 2.
Oh.
Calgar turns up and goes, "We've got a mission for you," and it's like extremely dangerous, but I think you're the right person for it. And he goes, "Yeah, okay." And then this is the mission that he goes on.
Oh, okay, righto, right. Yeah, because the relevance of that was lost on me a little bit. I did enjoy it. It was very dark, obviously. minimal. was the 5% dialogue in the whole thing? I don't know.
Yeah. My favourite bit is where they did like the 300 thing, where they just had all the cultists running at them, and they were just like chopping them to bits and like grabbing heads and
yeah.
And where Titus turned into an anti-vehicle person, just ran through the souped up Land Rover or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Obliterated it. I'll do that.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I don't have much experience with obviously 40k at all, but I suppose Space Marine is my first introduction to it. Space Marine 2. Pretty bleak, isn't it? I mean, it's telling them to
There is
smile a
only
little
war,
bit,
Andy.
isn't it?
There is only war.
It is. It's proper like just. But there's I guess like in 40k there is no like good guy. Everyone's just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Except
The
Tau.
Tau.
Tau are pretty nice.
It for the
All
great or
perception there,
good.
isn't it?
They're
It's
all like preachy vegans.
yeah, it's all your perception of the reality, isn't it?
I mean, the fact that they fuel their spaceships with humans.
I thought it was more that you died fueling the spaceship more than they were fueling them with humans.
Same
See,
thing,
I
isn't it?
thought like especially for the demon engines, like for the Chaos Space Marines, they're literally just like chucking people into the.
Oh, Chaos Space Marine, sorry. Right. I thought you meant the Imperium.
Well,
I thought you meant the Tau.
that puts a real dent in their veganism, doesn't it?
I know. I thought. I can't believe you consider them goodies.
I consider none of them goodies.
Have you seen the new miniature they revealed today? The Iron Hands Praetor. Awesome.
What's that?
So they released the Iron Warriors Praetor, didn't they, last week? When I was absolutely buzzing about, and they've released the Iron Hands one now.
Is that for 40k or Heresy?
30k for Heresy. They've kind of started bringing out Heresy stuff again.
Yeah.
I think I've been moaning on the webpage every month, like when they've done a Heresy Thursday, and they go, "Oh, really? Is this for Heresy?" I'm like, "Where's my Praetor?" The Space Wolf stuff looks cool.
Is that all for Heresy as well, the Space Wolf stuff?
Yeah, I mean the Space Wolf refresh is coming out next year, isn't it? But
I don't know if I can be. I just know like I can't commit to something else. Like I can't. Like, I'd love to like get involved in Heresy, but I just.
I've got a 30k army just sat upstairs.
I've got. Well, I pretty much got the Age of Sigmar spearhead for Iron Jaws. That's still like mostly unpainted, so I need to have a big Iron Jaws painting session. It just takes so much.
I got myself a Christmas box this year.
What did you get?
I got the Knights. Got the Knights box. I haven't got any big robots. I thought, you know what? I fancy a robot. I have 5 of them.
Shall we get into it?
Yeah.
But I need a recap.
Crikey. I dread to think when we last played. It's been a while again, hasn't it?
I think last time we were here, I remember eating some pies, and there's an old woman with a cart. That's as far as I remember.
Right.
That's all you need to know. Let's roll some dice in anger.
Killed a baby.
Oh, I'm going to have to stab the baby. Still one of my favourite things. Right, so I'm Dave, Dungeon Master. That side is Sam, who's playing Brungrik. Beneath him is Lewis, who's playing Barwolf. Read. Bottom left, Andy, who's playing Valkyn. Top left, Jake, who's playing Damian. Other Andy, Mr. Miller is still absent. His character Reman will return hopefully soon. So this is Curse of Strahd, session 49. One away from half a century. So you guys, you're currently in Castle Ravenloft. You have arrived trying to stop the wedding of Count Strahd von Zarovich and Irina. You brought with you quite a force of militia who entered the first room and were wiped out by gargoyles and dragons or stone dragons and all kinds of things. But you still have the Barovia 3 with you. Not much of a recap, but I'll be honest with you, there's not much else to say. Let me force your screen. In fact, let me pan back so I can show you where you've been so far in the whole of Castle Ravenloft. So you entered the main entrance here, came into this massive, huge chamber with stairs going up, which you haven't investigated yet. You heard organ music coming from here, and there was what looked like an illusion of Strahd, who was taunting you and offering certain party members things. You found a stairwell that led down there, and then you were following this corridor, which you believe led to the castle's chapel. Happy so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Barovia 3, Esmeralda, Van Richten, and Mordenkainen are in tow, walking along with you. So just for a little bit of atmosphere then, everything is dark in here. There's no lighting. There's cobwebs everywhere. There's dust everywhere. It's not well maintained. It's not well kept. I say some of it's not lit. This area was lit slightly until the lights went out as the gargoyles descended. There's a thunderstorm outside as lightning strikes. Occasionally it lights up little bits and pieces, cracks in the door frames and things like that, and you can hear the howls of the rain and lashing of the rain on the building itself. So what do you want to do?
Hadn't we originally looked at inspecting this door here?
Yes, you'd open the door. You could see the long corridor in front of you. I'll give you the description of because I think you were heading in that direction.
Yeah.
This grand hall is choked with dust and stretches into the darkness ahead. Webs hang from the arched ceiling like drapes, and life-size statues of knights line the hallway on both sides, their eyes seeming to watch you as you'd open the door.
You force my screen, Dave. I've got a black screen.
Yeah. How's that?
Loading. Thank you.
And this is the way that we thinks to the chapel, isn't it?
Yes.
I think we're all nervous because we've just been attacked by a bunch of statues.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is, it said at the heart of the castle, didn't it? We obviously got that tome from the cards, but we just need to make sure that when we fight Strahd, it's for the last time, and he's not just going to come back. It's just how we do that.
I really don't trust this corridor with all these statues.
Are we all squared away for people with dark vision, etc.?
I think Mordenkainen and Van Richten were. They have light sources. They've cast light. I think Esmeralda did as well, if I remember right.
Ones we've got. Stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I've also got Sun Sword out.
There we go. Okay.
I mean, I can make an offhand attack with my whip just to see if any of them move.
If only we had somebody in the party that knew anything about stone.
Well, I was just about to ask about the statues, Lou. funnily enough. Like, are they? Yeah. Can we investigate them? Obviously, with what we've just experienced, the fear the party will now have is that we're going to be attacked by more statues. So, is there a way to assess them to see if they will move again? If these will animate, should I say?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I would suggest would be to move up to them.
Let's stay where we are.
Yeah, let's not do that. I'm talking about a visual inspection from a distance here, Dave.
Okay, sure. You can have that would be a perception then, because you're not close enough to have a full investigation, I would argue.
22.
22 is an awesome roll, yeah. You, as you start to peer towards the one to the north, the one closest to you, you very much get the impression that these eyes are following you. And then your attention is brought to the one along to the east next to it, and that also seems to be following you around. And with a perception of 22, it becomes quite clear that these are just visual illusions. It's the painting on the wall. It's the Mona Lisa that follows you around the room. It's just a visual illusion. It's not moving.
As in the eyes or the statues of visual? The
eyes are, yeah.
Okay. And are these, I mean, we can see in bright light 4 of them. Are these statues of different things?
Yes, there's minute differences. They look almost as if they are armoured and remembered and recognised war heroes of the past. There's a slight difference with the armour. You'd sort of, in fact, have a history check for me, Sam, now that you've asked that question.
I'll give myself some guidance on this one.
Sure. Because you've got a +1.
Yep. I only made it a 10.
Okay, yeah. So as you grasp your amulet of Pelor, thinking, give me guidance to try and divine what these things are, you sort of notice subtle differences. So similar armor, almost as if the technology has progressed the further along you get. So you've perhaps got 10 years in between each one. The armor fits better, so it's sort of seems to be a progression of recognized war heroes of some description.
They're not all facially the same person.
No.
Facially they look like different.
No, in fact, if anything, they've got full helms on, so there aren't just the eyes showing through, but there's no facial features.
Are you in a different room, Jake?
The normal? Yeah.
Sorry, very random. I just looked and thought Jake's not in his room.
He looks like he's stood up as well.
Yeah.
I am stood up. I just like my back's a bit uncomfortable being sat down. So.
All right.
That's married life for you now, mate. Backache, being relegated to different rooms.
It also looks like it's daytime. Sorry. Yeah, go on, Dante.
It does, doesn't it? It's just like, why is the light coming through the window?
It's well placed lighting features. That's what
No, it's the window that we're all confused by, Jake.
It's like daylight coming through your window.
It's not the window. It's where the lamp is.
I'm quite put off now. I found out he's standing up. I feel like he's one of them football commentators with his headset, like standing around the crowd. Yeah.
Come on, Andy. What's Valkyn doing?
Valkyn's going to step up to the shooter.
He's stepping up. He's stepping up. He shoots. He scores.
Thank you, Chris
He's going to
Kamara.
poke the statue in the dick with his dagger.
Yeah, you chip off a chunk of
Blend.
Yep. Yeah, you knock his bell end off with your dagger.
It's
but nothing.
Surprise.
But nothing else happens.
Let's back to the crew. We're good.
While you're there, Mr. Johnson, would you roll D20 for me, please?
Oh, fuck. Okay.
It's a
You
curse.
see, it's not all good, you cocky bastard.
You've touched his tip, and he's not very happy about it.
15.
Okay. Yeah, all seems quiet. The wind is blowing down this chamber. It is pretty cold in here, but other than that, nothing else is stirring.
Brungrik going to step forward.
So Ez will step forward with you as well. Yeah, they're being cautious and wary. But yeah, you get the nod from Van Richten and Mordenkainen as they move up. Quite happy to go into the centre of your little band to make sure you're well lit. Nothing else seems to be changing. Nothing else moving.
Just before we advance up the hallway, it seems like a fairly long hallway with like there may be some loose stones somewhere I'm going to step on and do like an investigation check, perception check just on the floor in front of us to check there's no trap.
Yeah, sure. Are you moving as you're going along then? Checking as you're going along.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we could do is perhaps have two checks, because it's huge. It's a vast chamber. You know, not many times in your lives would you have been in something as large as this. Maybe Brungrik would have with churches or cathedrals of Pelor. Yeah. So who's going to be checking? Do we think? Sorry, Jake. I'm just moving out of the way from Brungrik.
Sorry.
That's all right, dude. That's all right.
Is it investigation for traps, is it?
You can do perception or investigation. It's up to you.
We all kind of be doing. I imagine we'll all be on like high alert, so I'd definitely be like keeping my eyes peeled and having a good nosy round.
Yeah, I think because
Do mine with a bit of guidance. That's all right.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Esmeralda's going to step forward and oh no, you know what? Rictavio, Van Richten will. Van Richten's rolled 23, so he's very professional and he's checking everything. You know, as a monster hunter, he's.
I've got him beat there, Dave.
30.
That's a 30.
Yeah, there's. Yeah, it's well, if you got a natural 30, Sam, I'd be calling you a cheat.
I've got a natural 20
I mean, it's not bounced off a
27.
natural 20.
Yeah, you're not getting tripped up by any traps. You managed to get all the way to the other side of the there's a double door at the other end, and there are no traps within sight.
It's funny the damage that this campaign does to you as a player.
Psychological damage. Yeah.
I think after this we should all just have a little focus group to recover from our post-traumatic Strahd disorder.
I'm going to run it again. You know, I'm going to run it for Tom, Sammy, possibly Josh. He's up for it, and I'm gonna use everything I've learned from tormenting you and the other group to make it even worse for them.
No.
That's amazing.
Mate.
Strahd is the reason I've never played D&D the same.
But this is the thing, is that I think Andy might agree with us. The way we play Dragonlance is not like how we play Strahd. There are isms that have carried over, but we're not anywhere near as suspicious half the time, are we? We do blunder through some places.
No, I mean it's just Leggett especially blundered. I think is
it's the art of playing different characters. Let's face it, when we play Pathfinder, one of us always opens fucking doors.
One of us does, to be fair.
So as you approach this door...
I've got a song prepared for me and Jake for riding off into the sunset if we get through this alive.
Ooh.
That's what this campaign's done to me. I'm so expecting to die. Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
Just the two of us.
If anyone was watching, they no longer are. As you approach the east door, you notice there's in sort of beaten bronze above the door itself is what looks like either a rising or a setting sun. Just like above the door itself in this beaten bronze.
Is it religious in nature?
Yeah, you recognise it straight away as this is the chapel beyond. This is and it's the chapel of light. Whether it's either the Morning Lord or I mean you would know him as Pelor or you've heard the word Lathander mentioned before for other prime material planes. Yeah, again, with
naturally assume it's the Morning Lord, given Barovia's only ever mentions the Morning Lord, don't they? So I'm assuming that's where I'd naturally assume.
Yeah. But there's nothing else dodgy with if we carry your amazing perception rolls, apart from Mr. Johnson's. I've just noticed coordinate. Your mostly amazing perception rolls. There's no sound beyond other than the wind howling and the rain outside.
Well, shall I do what I do best? I'm going to walk up. I'm going to open the door.
Sure.
Jake's going to Jake.
Jake has got to Jake. Right, so that door should be open for you. You might be able to reveal what you can see beyond now. There you go. Wonderful. Oh, I'm so happy. I've had so many technical issues recently. It's been... I think I've had like 3 sessions where something has gone wrong every time, and if everything goes right this time, I'm going to be over the moon. Anyway, so dim coloured light filters through tall, broken and boarded up windows of stained glass, illuminating the ancient chapel of Ravenloft. A few bats flutter about near the top of a 90-foot high domed ceiling. A balcony runs the length of the west wall, 50 feet above the floor. In the centre of the balcony, 2 dark shapes slumped in tall chairs. Benches coated with centuries of dust lie about the floor in jumbled disarray. Beyond this debris, lit by a piercing shaft of light, an altar stands upon a stone platform. The sides of the altar are carved with bas relief of angelic figures entwined with grapevines. The light from above falls directly on a silver statuette. A cloaked figure is draped over the altar, and a black mace lies on the floor near its feet. So, just to summarise, as this again, when you have a published product, it gives you an overview of the whole room, and I'll just read it to you because I've paid money for it. So above you is a balcony. That's where you can see these 2 figures in the dim light, sat on chairs as if they're looking down on top of you. But straight in front is this black mace. You've got a figure here, it's not on the map, that's slumped next to this altar, and then the light shining on this statuette here. This room as you enter is thick with dust. Now, there's dust everywhere that you've been in Castle Ravenloft so far, but it soon becomes clear that this chamber has not been entered for decades, a considerable amount of time more than the antechamber, the chamber that you've just arrived by. What do you want to do?
I think Damian probably turn kind of like they're just looking around the party, and he'd be like, "Well, if there was going to be a wedding being held anywhere, surely you'd expect it to be here."
But then Brungrik will sort of say that the Morning Lord would be opposed to a vampire, and a vampire would be opposed to the Morning Lord.
Well, then maybe we should restore this chapel back to its true host.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
I think Damian's gonna just get ready with he'll be on guard with the sun sword.
So the the figure at the altar, is he moving, breathing? Like, can we see any form of signs of life, or is it just he slumped over the altar?
From your distance, slumped over the altar is the best you can do.
Do we get
Well,
that
that's what I thought
heebie-jeebie
then.
feeling that we're being watched from?
Yes, you do. You also, as you get close to the threshold as well, you also get the serene feeling of stepping onto hallowed ground. And Van Richten will say to Brungrik, he will say, "Yes, I agree. I feel this place. This place would not welcome the master of these halls."
Brungrik will step in beyond the threat.
Sure. So a couple of other things become obvious to you. Again, it's a huge, massive chamber. You can see both north and south. There appears to be, from your vantage point, it just looks like alcoves. So it's not sort of like a box room. There looks like there are ways in to the north and south. But let's have a D20 roll from you then, please.
Use guidance.
Nope.
19.
Okay, would you roll a D8 and a D12 for me, please?
Shit. $13.
Okay. Bear with me. From the alcove to the south, you see from around the corner. Actually, no, it's going to be the north. You can see a figure appear just up here. If you can see that. And as you're naturally perceptive, so you see this figure walk in this direction, and it's almost as if it hits this sort of magical force field, and it seems to be repelled, and it spins around. But as it spins in your direction and sees you. And then very slowly, gingerly, it puts a foot as if it's trying to walk through treacle, and it eventually breaks through this barrier and starts walking towards you. What do you want to do?
He shouts out the name of the Morning Lord, in the name of Pella, you're on hallowed ground. Halt. Tell me of your intentions. So like, that's already.
Okay. So you all hear Brungrik go into his spiel. Esmeralda's whips out. The Barovia three are all sort of battle ready at this point. And in response, this creature that looks like a zombie, looks like he's got the livery of Strahd, ancient livery, rotted and mangled on him, and his response is as you start stumbling towards you. So at this point,
campaign's full of drunks.
Sorry, go on.
At this point, let's roll initiative.
What happens when you smoke too much mamba? Lost me. Or found me.
You found it.
Bloody hell, Dave. Like, I've rolled really, really well for my initiative, and you just have to show me up, don't you?
What, with all three?
Not
Apparently
once,
I do.
3 times.
Apparently I do. Well, hold up, because it's you that has a go at me for this. Esmeralda says, "What's going on?" Morden Kanan says, "I don't know. I think it's something in the other room." And then Van Richten says, "Don't worry, Brungrik's got this." Sam, would you like to take your turn?
No, I don't.
Don't do this to me now.
I know, yeah. I don't know what.
Don't let me have this.
Like the way he's coming at me, because I'm a cleric. I've dealt with the undead. It's generally the classic cleric profession, isn't it? Let's be honest. They kill the undead. Do I feel threatened by him the way he's approaching me, or is it just he's ambling towards me?
No, I'm going to give it you for free. It's a brainless zombie, and he wants to eat your brains.
Okay. And he's the only one that I'm aware of.
Yes.
No.
Okay. And does he? You said about him like almost having to push his way through this barrier, for want of a better word. Does he still look like he's pushing his way through, or is he past it?
Now he seems to be past it, so he's moving quite fluidly.
Okay. Oh wait. Okay. Going to move up for a sort of semi-defensive position.
Semi.
And I'm going to hold an attack. So if he comes at me or anyone else comes at me, I'll strike out. I think.
Okay.
I'm going to wait and see what happens. I don't want to commit and then leave the party behind or string us out or anything.
Sure. So his turn, he's going to move his full movement, which is only 20 feet, but he's reaching towards you. He's starting to. You see now, he's just a mindless. There's a little bit more to him than a normal zombie. There's more sort of flesh on his bones, but the intent is the same. He just wants bones. So does that take us to Valkyn?
Got Esmeralda and Van Richten were me.
They were in front of Brungrik, and they've sort of stalled. They weren't sure what they were going to be doing.
Sorry. I will burst into the room.
Yeah.
Like a wrecking ball. Crossbow shot.
Yep.
To zombie. Not doing anything too spectacular yet. Made of, and it's a 13 to hit.
13 hits.
Fucking hell. Okay. 10 points of piercing damage.
Nice. Okay, yeah, it's a solid hit. What should we go with? We'll go with center of the. This is the joy of zombies. You can be you can hit them anywhere and they still survive. So you go right in the middle and you sort of did you see? And it's still coming forward, still coming towards you. Anything else?
Do any damage?
Yes. Oh yeah. No, it's.
I will bonus action. I will both. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
For 24 to hit.
24 hits.
3 points of piercing damage.
3 points of piercing damage. Okay. Same again. Solid hit. Anything else?
No.
Nope.
I'll leave it there.
Okay. How many quarrels have you got left out of interest?
What?
How many quarrels, bolts?
Quite a few.
Okay, sound. Yeah, you're fine. Barwolf, go on.
I'm going to step through and have a look.
Yeah.
Go, oh, she. Can we see any more of this altar? Because obviously I'm looking at the map at the minute and I can see the mace on the floor and things. Is that actually there, or is it the person that's?
No, the mace is there. The mace it's a completely black mace. As you from your distance, all you can see is a black mace. You can see the light shining on this statuette, this silver statuette, and then the figure that's collapsed. As you get a little bit closer, now that you've stepped through, it looks like the figure has collapsed while approaching the altar.
Okay. In that case, then I'll just have a shot with my longbow at the zombie.
Sure.
Poo. Oh, 16.
16 hits, mate.
I forgot I got a plus 11. 13.
Nice. Yeah, it's still moving towards you.
I'll bring around another shot then.
Okay.
27.
Yeah, finish it.
13.
Yeah. Okay, how does it die?
I think as he takes one look at the altar and then sees the zombie, he pulls out his first shot and shoots it in the foot so it pins it. And then the second shot, he shoots it through the zombie's head and pins it to the wall.
Cool. Yeah, so the zombie drops dead. That's us out of initiative. Unfortunately, Jake, because you rolled so badly, you didn't actually get a 10. So yeah, a little bit more of a description for the for what's going on then. So you can now see as you've moved further into the room, you can see in these alcoves to the north and south more statues, larger statues in the alcoves. You can still see above you these in seats on a balcony right above you, just sat still. The corpse on the ground, the clothing, you can only sort of make out the clothing, perhaps a little bit of hair from here. It looks unusually fresh. There isn't any rot or mold on any of the clothing.
Go up and examine it.
Yeah.
Carry on portion, but just have
Sure.
the sudden sword out.
Ready
Ready for a fight, but
yeah,
kind of go and
gotcha.
look at the corpse.
Yeah, nothing else happens as you approach the altar. Again, all of you get the sort of the serene sense as you enter this space. Damian, as you approach with the dark hair of this figure on the floor, as you get closer, you also notice a tanned skin, and you start to think, Something's familiar about this, and you recognise the corpse as Vistani. Well dressed in a sort of a finery of possibly a nobleman. This sort of sable-lined cloak around the top. And in fact, as everyone else is checking around and you're now drawn closer towards the figure on the floor, you do recognise it as it is dead. It is a corpse, relatively fresh corpse. But it looks familiar to you. It looks like your mum, but it's male and in its 50s.
That sounded like some kind of dig at Jake, or
Damian's mum.
So if I roll him over,
yeah,
I'd have a better look at him.
Yeah, you can see on his neck. You can see it's classic, 2 pinpricks. He has been killed by a vampire relatively recently. But to look at him, you would recognise him as kin. You think he's a relative, possibly of your mother.
Could he possibly be my uncle that went into Barovia with my dad? Like years and years ago, it was before I was born.
He would be of the right age, and he looks very similar. And now that you notice, you're sort of looking down. There's a chain linking this cloak, and there's an M, sort of a stylized silver on black. And this could possibly be Marco.
I'm gonna take the clasp off. I'm gonna put it into my pocket, and then I'm gonna take a wooden stake, and then I'm gonna just drive it straight through his heart.
Yeah. Okay.
As I'm doing that, even though I don't know him, I'm almost holding his hands over the stake as I'm doing it.
Yeah. I think at this point Van Richten would sort of put a hand on your shoulder and sort of nod and say a prayer on your behalf as well. Yeah, the corpse. What we'll do though, we'll add a little bit of flavour as you do this. We'll have the corpse very briefly scream all of a sudden, and then just become immobile, and then properly pass over. So you've prevented him from rising as a vampire spawn.
I'm gonna then lift his corpse up and place it upon the altar.
Okay. So next to the altar, you can now see as you're placing the corpse of what we believe is Uncle Marco on the altar. You can see this statuette, and it seems to be. It's kind of like a little Buddha-ish. I do have a picture somewhere of it. If I can try and find it. Yeah, and sorry, I'll tell you what we'll do then. We'll finish with Marco. He is at rest now, at peace. And his visage becomes peaceful as you lay him on the chapel. But you're drawn towards this statuette, and it seems to be someone bending in prayer. So if I can give you that.
Oh yeah.
With hands upright in supplication. It's a hefty gold.
Pharaoh-esque, isn't it? A bit like an Egyptian pharaoh picture.
Yeah.
The ones they painted themselves with where they have the hats and
Yes, mate. Yeah.
But
You've
if
so got to put the sun sword in its hands.
well, it's
If
not
I've watched
the
Indiana Jones loads of times, it's got to be done.
maybe not the sun sword, but what about the mace that's on the floor?
Well, I thought
the
it was
mace-
like the sun chapel thing. I thought the sun sword would be more appropriate.
Yeah, this is just a prayer. There's the mace is entirely different. As you get closer, this is black metal, and the head, the business end, has what looks like screaming faces in terror, elongated screaming faces on the twatty bit. I'll stick with business end.
Webbing end.
Twebbing, yeah.
A weapon is a mace considered as heavy.
I believe it's simple. If it's is it single or double-handed?
Single. It's a simple weapon, yeah.
Simple
It's,
weapon, yeah.
I think actually,
Have we got a wizard in the
I'm
party?
pretty sure
More than Kanan that can cast identify on it.
pretty sure they are simple because clerics use them. Clerics can only use simple weapons.
yeah, I think you're right, Sam.
At least old school clerics, anyway.
Yeah.
Stand by it. Can Morden Kanan still do this identify?
Yeah, sure.
Text first.
Simple weapons is mace, yeah. So let's have a look. I don't know if he's. Yes, he does have identify. So he will. Okay, let's go for it. He's going because he still hasn't got his spell book. So he'll say to you, I'm yeah, sure, no problem. So he's going to have to use a spell slot to do it. But he'll do both, is what I'll say. So he's going to run out of first level spell slots quite quickly. He identifies the mace as a mace of terror. Let me just double check. I'm telling you right. Yep, mace of terror. And then if I find where it is in the rules, you can do with it as you please. Mace of Terror 2024. Here we go. So this magic weapon has 3 charges and gains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. When holding the weapon, you can make a magic action and expend 1 charge to release a wave of terror from it. Each creature of your choice within 30 feet of you must succeed on a DC 15 saving throw or have the frightened condition for 1 minute. While frightened in this way, a creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't make opportunity attacks.
Sounds right up my street.
It does, right, doesn't it? For this action, it can only use the dash action and try to escape as fast as possible. It has nowhere to move, and the creature can. If it has nowhere it can move, the creature can take the dodge action at the end of its turn. The creature repeats the save. Proficiency with a mace allows you to add your proficiency bonus to the attack roll, but I mean, to be honest, you'd get it anyway. And then it's got a mastery property, but none of you have updated your characters to 2024 yet for this campaign, have you? So we're not worried about that. I'll see if I can link the picture because it's proper Valkyn weapon. Now you mentioned it. Let me go on to images. Quick editing. Right, here we go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it looks meaty.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Can I have it, boys? Can I have it, please? Please, can I have it, please?
Here's a question for you, Mr. Another question for you,
Well-
Mr. Johnson. You know your sneak attack doesn't sneak attack have to be a light or a finesse or a ranged weapon for sneak attack?
We've seen on Lord of the Rings where he throws his mace. It's a ranged weapon. Just depends
Yeah,
how
finesse
heavy.
or ranged weapon. Can I keep? I've got two-handed weaponry, haven't I?
Yeah.
Not keep a dagger and or a crossbow, and a crossbow in the other.
A dagger and a one-handed crossbow. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, if I needed to use my sneak attack.
Ah, I see what you're saying. So mace and dagger.
Yeah, mace and dagger or mace and crossbow.
Have you got 2-weapon fighting, or have you got 2-weapon dual wielder?
No, you usually attack with that your proficiency bonus, don't you? If you drop hand.
Yeah, but if you use, so it depends what you use, because dual wield is a feat, which means that you can add your proficiency bonus to your offhand attack, and you also get a +1 on your AC, and you can wield weapons that aren't.
No, I don't think he has.
No, I've got
Your master
dueling.
fighting. You get a +1. You use 2-weapon fighting, even when the one-handed melee weapons you're wielding aren't light. And you can draw or stow two one-handed weapons when you would normally only be able to do it with one. But one's the feat and one's the fighting type.
Yeah.
I can swap out weapons with an action, can't I?
Well, this is it. You potentially walk into a room, go bang with the terror, drop the mace, and then go fuck shit up with your normal weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not going to be something that you can necessarily... You can't sneak attack with it, and you're not going to be able to wield something in your offhand. You're not going to get any of your bonuses if you do dual wield with this. They both have to have the light or the finesse.
Yeah.
Is it light and finesse? I think it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if anyone else can use it. I mean, Brungrik's got his two-handed sword.
I can still use my divine smite though with it, can't I?
Could Barwolf use this then?
Yeah, I can use super weapons or martial weapons.
Yeah. I mean, you could all use it. But
it's a bit pointless for me because it's a strength-based weapon. So, like, I do dex-based fighting, so it's just doesn't work to my skills.
Is it going to be
Yeah.
better off with Lou? It's based on strength.
But let's see, I'm a dex fighter, but I've got a strength 15 as well. It's one of them. Why don't we chuck it in the bag of holding or something? We've got it then, haven't we?
No, I think it's worth being carried at least, even if you just use it to cause terror.
Yeah.
Because, like, you think that gargoyle situation, we got overrun with numbers. You'd bang that down in that situation, cause some of them to flee. It would have loosened us up a bit in the combat, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Agree with that.
It's worth it being on hand. I'm just not necessarily being used as a melee weapon.
But I'll take it then. I'll take it and then we'll whip it for now, and then I say you can always
Yeah,
cast terror and then up it if needs be. Swap it out.
I mean,
right, mace of terror, then do just stick it on your sheet. Sorry, Jake.
there's no fonts in this temple, is there?
No. Why did you want one? What if you want a font?
Only one.
to see if it's dried up from holy water, but that's okay. And in terms of, I guess, like Damian would turn back to the group having like sorted out everything with Marco, and I guess he'd say, if this is who I believe it is, he'd explain to the group about the fact that he thinks it, I think this could be my uncle Marco. But when Marco entered Barovia, he did not do it alone. Came with my father. But if they made it to Castle Ravenloft and this far, I fear the fate that became of my father.
Are we able to like kind of make this chapel holy again with the barrier, or strengthen the barrier somehow?
So what I'll have is, as you're laying Marco to rest, you're investigating the mace, and the other thing I need to do is cover the icon, the statuette, which I'll do in a second. I'll have Mordenkainen wandering around, casting prestidigitation, cleaning up large patches, and trying to make it pristine. Van Richten's walking around, putting the pews back in order with Esmeralda's help. So they're trying to make to restore this to its former glory. As they're doing this, to the north here, so I'll do this and then I'll go back to the statuette. So to the north, this arched room. Let me just take Damian's token. Why isn't that working? Take Valkyn. That's because you haven't got any sight, that's why. There we go. Right, so the one to the north. This arched room connects a vast chamber to the... well, you're in this vast chamber. So there's a staircase that rises to the west. Alcoves in the north and south hold 8-foot-tall sculptures of helmed knights with muscular builds. Black shadows fall across their faces. And then the one in the south... to the left of the landing, the stairs curl down. So you've got another landing here, similar statues. Stairs to the left curl down into darkness. To the right, the stairs climb into thick drapes of cobwebs. Alcoves in the north and south hold 8-foot-tall sculptures of helmed knights with bright blades. Black shadows obscure their faces. Okay, so you've got 3 more ways to go. Up there, down there. Then I'm going to return briefly to the statuette. So it is Mordenkainen, through the use of his identify spell, will tell you that this is an icon of Ravenloft. It is going to require someone of a goodly nature to spend some time with it, so you're going to need to attune. So it's a hefty chunk. It's 12 inches tall, weighs 10 pounds, depicts a cleric kneeling in supplication. So there is... between Mordenkainen and Van Richten, they will be able to tell you that the icon was originally given to Strahd by an ex-archpriest. And the rumours of this being still in the castle have traversed the ages. So... while you're within 30 feet of this icon, a creature is under the effect of the protection from evil and good spell against fiends and undead. Only a creature attuned to this icon can use this property. As an action, you can cast Augury. You can use an action to cast the Augury spell from the icon with no material components required. Once used, this property can't be used again until the next dawn. There's a Bane of the Undead property. You can use this icon as a holy symbol while using the Turn Undead or Turn the Unholy feature. If you do so, increase the save DC by 2. And you can also use it to cure wounds. While holding the icon, you can take an action to heal one creature. That you can see within 30 feet, so it's a ranged cure wounds. The target regains 3d8 plus 3 hit points unless it is an undead, construct, or fiend. Once used, this property can't be used again until the next dawn. So this is quite a powerful statuette.
Yeah.
Definitely is. Does it? So you know, for the protection from good and evil, is it just for one individual person, one party member that's attuned to it, or is it anybody that's within 30 feet?
While within 30 feet of the icon, a creature is under the effect. So it's permanent. If you're attuned to this, you have a permanent protection from evil and good versus fiends and undead.
I'm written all over it. Like that.
Super powerful, though, isn't it?
It is, but
There's a lot to it.
You
You're the man for-
need to have the good characteristic in your alignment to be able to use it.
That's okay then, because I'm neutral good. I had to pause to check. Is that the only requirement?
Yeah. Well, you need to attune to it, so you have to spend an hour with it.
Yeah, but you've only got to be good, is what I meant.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about cleric or paladin.
Am I the only good person in the party? Because Damian not good.
I think he counts as like he's neutral. I think he's neutral good.
I'm neutral good as well.
Yeah, I'm lawful neutral.
I think we all know that Valkyn isn't.
Oh,
With
shit,
his
what?
terror
Yeah.
base.
Yeah, I'm neutral good.
So either you or I could take it.
Neutral evil.
I guess it depends. I mean, will you get more utility out of it? I mean, protection from good and evils is decent.
Yeah, that's handy regardless. Free heal, useful.
Yeah. I
Heal
guess that
free spell.
doesn't matter which one of us has that. Because you can cast
You're the undead.
healing.
It's the turn undead, isn't it? I get +2 to turn undead.
Yeah, which you can do and I can't already. It's got Cleric wrote all over this.
Okay.
I'm just checking as well to see how many magic items I've got attunement to, because I think I've already got attunement to
I'm attuned
the
to
Sun
2.
Sword and the Blood Whip.
Yeah, see, I'm attuned to 2 as well.
Oh no, tell a lie. I think I'm only attuned to the Sun Sword.
So I've got the thingy Raven kind, and I've got a
Amulet of Raven.
protection.
Is it a free casting of Turn Undead, or is it just a bonus to Turn Undead, Dave?
It gives you an extra 2 to your spell to the DC.
It makes way more sense for you to have it, Sam, just for the spell casting components.
Yeah. But it's a free augury spell as well. So.
Yeah, I've put it on your character sheet, so.
I didn't want to just go, yay, more items.
I know,
for
mate.
me.
I know.
Put it out there first.
I was intrigued to see what it actually says as well.
Where we put it on my sheet, Dave?
Should be in equipment just underneath. If you might need to refresh, if because I've just put it on. Are we? What's finish time tonight? By the way, chaps. Is it 10:30?
I'm good. Whatever time.
Okay. We'll see how it goes.
Just discussed that you were evil, Johnson.
Hey?
I said we were just discussing how Valkyn's evil.
He's very evil. Well, he's neutral evil. He can do good things, but ultimately, they can't.
So it's decided you're not good.
Do the cure wounds once. You can do the augury once per day. Get the bane of the undead permanently. Protection from evil permanently.
Protection from good and evil's decent as well.
Yeah, it's real handy.
I've got 2 casts of it though from my Monster Hunter. My vote for which direction we go in is I reckon we go north first and go up those stairs. I think it probably leads to the balcony above the door that we've just seen those 2.
All right, just before we move on, just the Marco thing, I just want to ask a quick question. It might be my brain not clicking. You said he's the right age, or appears the right age, or some word to that effect. Is that he's aged and would be now correct age if he'd spent his entire life with Damian, or he's of the age when he left Damian? Does that make sense?
But he's about 50.
Okay,
Which would be
so
like,
he has aged.
yeah, he looks like,
Barovia. Okay.
well, I don't know. Does he look? Because you said he's about 50, which Damian only been in his like 20s. His mum's only about 50 odd, and you said it looks like a female version of my mum in about her 50s. So
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
missed
your
Sorry.
yeah your dad and your 2 uncles went missing in their 20s.
Right.
There was the if
they've
not
potentially
30s
survived
maybe.
in Barovia this long.
And the way he was leaning against the altar, did it look like he was holding them, like he dropped the mace?
No, it was more as if he was. Now that you're sort of thinking about the whole scene, it's more as if he was placed.
Another one of Strahd's games, then.
It's time to end this bastard, and then I think Damian's going to start marching off to the north.
Okay,
let's deal with those.
Van Richten will say, there are options then. So he's just going to remind you of the north here. Is that the direction Damian's going through there?
You're thinking to get a balcony, aren't you?
Yeah, to see
To
what
the
these
balcony. Okay.
2 that are staring down on us are.
So far you've got north and south. North leads up. South, you've got up and down. You've also got stairs on. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So give you the big overview. So north there, up and down here on the south. You've got these stairs and you've got these grand stairs. You're wanting to go through these. Yep.
It's zoomed out, but basically go up these stairs here, and that's what I feel like.
Let's go
Goes
for
around
it.
to the
Before
balcony.
Damian gets to the barrier, or whatever it was, Brungrik will stop him and just investigate before he lets him push through.
Okay. So as you step over the threshold, roll d20 for me, please, Sam.
I was just stopping him and then investigating it. I wasn't stepping over it.
Well, I'm leaping ahead.
17.
17. So yeah, these statues are, as described, they're just very large statues. They don't appear to be moving, similar to the ones in the hall. And the stairway goes up and then it turns right angles to the south.
But nothing happened about
Nothing
passing through this
happens.
barrier.
No.
Did we lose the feeling of being in that holy place?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Right. That makes more sense then.
Okay. So are you going to continue?
I mean, I've kind of already marched off, but it just feels like in this entire interaction, whoever's been on the balcony has been watching us.
No,
Yeah.
no, it makes sense.
Okay. I'm going to carry on marching round then to the side and
Okay.
march up the stairs.
Sure. So as you get round to the stairs, the staircase is made of old wood that strains underfoot, creaking and groaning. As you continue round, where's Damian? Let's grab Damian. Oh, no, you still I've got. Let me give you a light source because you've got the sun sword, haven't you? So it is same as light. There we go. So yeah, as you get round the corner, it ascends again onto the floor up. Okay. So what I'm going to do? Are you all going together? Are you staying as a group or?
Yep. Brungrik's hot in his tail.
Okay. Right. So, right. If you'll bear with them. What I'll just do very quickly. Grab your token. Oh, thanks, Sam. It's just so I can copy and paste them. For me, I think that's all of you, isn't it? Oh. Dun, dun, dun. On to the next map. Right.
The other thing is that thinking
Sorry.
if Damian, if Strahd hasn't, if we feel Strahd can't come in here, then I think it's potentially one of Strahd's lackeys that's put him here.
He's got the dust scalp, hasn't he?
Rahadin. And we've
As
got
far
a
as-
vendetta against Rahadin anyway.
Yeah, and he's the only, as far as I can remember, the only dead, non-undead minion we've so far into.
The grade A
But then-
cleaners.
But then the zombie managed to push through.
Yeah, but I guess like it's. Yeah.
Unless, the Morning Lord, if it is the Morning Lord, I was waning darkness. Is Strahd. That was a smile, Dave. That was a very loud.
I was just thinking what I've got for lunch tomorrow. What's your beef? So
That we've got for lunch.
yeah, I'm gonna as you get to the top of the stairs, a sculpted stone railing encloses this long balcony, which overlooks Ravenloft's chapel. Two ornate thrones stand side by side in the centre of the balcony, covered with dust and strung with cobwebs. The thrones face away from the double doors that give access to the balcony. Everything still seems quiet and dark. Make sure the vision's on right one. Yeah, balls. Oh, 1 second. Do this with all the maps.
To zoom in on this little bit as well, Dave.
Yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of map tools work for future, because I need to make sure the vision's on night, otherwise it will show everything like it's just done for that. Right, Jake, sorry, you were asking, is... Oh, wait a minute, wait. Player view, is that visible to you? What's the count? It's not, is it? You. Right, let's
For some reason
try...
it just won't let me zoom in on it at all, like, on that space at all.
Hold up, bear with me. I might be having map tool issues. Oh, no, we should be good. Hopefully... You're going to be able to see this. Is it loading for you?
It's loading. I've got 43 of 44.
Okay, righto. So as I'll just we'll good old D&D. As you get to the top of the stairs, right in front of you is the railing, and you can see the other side is the balcony. Is the chapel of Ravenloft over the other side. To your right are these two, what now look as you closer look like thrones, but they're sort of three-quarter cover. So there's sides to these thrones. You can no longer. You'd have to go around the front before you would be able to see what's actually, if there is anything in the thrones, what look like figures from down below. At the back of the thrones are two grand double doors leading further into the castle. So if we're just using that as the information that you've got, what would you like to do?
I guess Damian would speak out and he'd say, "Have you enjoyed your spectacle?"
There is no response, no reply from these thrones.
Gonna proceed forward then with caution and go to inspect what's actually sat in the thrones.
Okay. So as you crest round the side of these thrones and look round, you can see, similar to the corpse that was down below, two zombies. As they, as you come into line of sight with them, they jump up and animate. So, bear with me. Players, let's roll initiative. You can, if any of you were following Damian, if you wanted to be closer, that's fine. I think Esmeralda would have probably something like that. Those guys. Oh yeah, best roll initiative. Oh. No. So Van Rixen's warming up to his part now. He'll actually do something. Let's give Van Richten something, shall we? I'm saying this. He's a good support character. Yeah, he's going to move into a sort of flanking position with Esmeralda. He'll say, and he'll sort of say, "Be careful, my dear. Just watch what you're doing." Modern Kane is going to throw a fireball.
Dirty flanker.
Yeah. So firebolt hits. He is. So he firebolts the closest zombie. Ooh, that's an incredibly bad roll. For 9 points of damage. He's rolled 4d10 and got 9. Might as well have not
He
bothered,
rolled
eh?
4d10 on a firebolt.
Brungrik's turn.
Brungrik's going to charge forward with his nice shiny +1 greatsword in his hands.
2 greatsword, mate.
It's 2, sorry, yeah. For a
Yeah.
21 to hit.
Yeah. 22 to hit. What is going on, Sam?
I don't know.
Who are you and what have you done with Sam?
His brain said, hang on, and I get my d8, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, for radiant damage.
Where's
Did you
Strahd?
roll for one zombie, Dave?
I have, mate. I've now rolled for 2. Thank you, Lewis.
You can't make it up, can you? I've rolled some really good dice. Damage dice, 1, 2, 3. I'll make it
Jake,
up.
Damian's turn.
Balance is restored.
Yeah.
Damian's gonna just lay into them with the sun sword. Oh, he only gets to do an extra d8 because they're undead. 26 to hit.
Yeah. Which one?
The one on the right.
The one
That's south.
south. Okay. Now then, I'm just going to backtrack ever so slightly because Sam, I need you to do something for me. Let me just find these again. Strahd. There you go. Because yours is slashing damage, isn't it?
The sword is yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right. You chop off one of its legs. So Jake, yes, you've hit with a 26.
And then that's 15 plus 3. That's 18 points of radiant damage.
Okay, yeah.
Another attack for a 22.
Yeah.
For 15 plus 2. 17 points of radiant damage.
Okay, how do you make mincemeat of that one?
I'm gonna just carve off one of his legs, and then in the next swing around and just take its torso, like split its torso in half.
Okay, nice. Yeah, anything else?
Can I bonus action to punch the other one?
Sure. Oh.
Just try and knock some of its teeth out. That's a 25 to hit.
Okay, yeah.
Then it's just a d6.
Bye.
For 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Chip away. 10?
That's everything, yeah.
Okay, Barwolf.
Fire up with the arrow. Natural 20. 31. Yeah.
Okay.
21 points of damage.
21 points of damage. You'd kind of have to move more around here, but that's not an issue. 21 points of damage absolutely destroys it. How would you like to kill it?
So I fire an arrow at the feet of the zombie just behind it, and as Damian punches it, it trips over the arrow and falls off the balcony.
Nice. Screams as it collapses to the floor. There we go.
Proper head splatter at the bottom.
Yeah, nice. But yes, they were the 2 figures that were on the balcony above. So now, other than the fact that you've got blood and gore in the chapel, the Mordecai goes, "Oh, I'm gonna have to press the digitation that up now as well." but there's nothing else up here other than these double doors. They were wearing, similar to the other Strahd zombie, they were wearing livery of Castle Ravenloft.
So we would assume they were probably old staff.
Quite possibly. Maybe even guards, something like that, yeah.
I really want to go and sit one of the seats, so I'm going to go and sit in one of the seats.
Yeah, no problem. It's not exactly comfortable, but it gives you a decent view of the chapel. You very much get the impression that these were built for the Lord and Lady, while the congregation, the little people beneath, would be going through their religious ceremonies, and you could. If you put a cushion under this with a blanket over your knees, it'd be quite comfortable. Unfortunately, that doesn't exist at the minute. Yeah, there's no seat. You don't lean back on it and then a secret stairway reveals. It's the Indiana Jones session. This one, isn't it?
So, do we go through these double doors at the back, or do we go back to the other staircase and go beneath the castle, or go up?
I feel like up going towards endgame, whereas down's going towards more exploration, and potentially more crypt.
Well, I think we potentially need to find the crypts, don't we?
What?
We've talked about potentially trying to find the crypt to see where Strahd potentially either returns to, or to see if we can find any, other corpses.
Oh, so we have one card not sold, and it is literally it's the King of Spades, the Dark Lord. He lurks in the depths of darkness, in the one place for which he must remain. So does that mean we're going to meet him in the depths of the castle, where potentially his crypt is often, for want of a better?
I mean, possibly, but I know
because that's the only card we've not
explored.
sold.
Just as to where he's taken Irina, isn't it? That's whether he's taken her down or whether he's taken her to like one of his chambers.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't complain for an hour's rest.
We're going to do it now, because Jake's eyeing up them doors.
I know, yeah, I can see it.
Do we go up or do we go down? That's the question.
I don't like spiders, so I don't want to go through the spider webs.
My gut was to go up. So I think we'll find him go down. But then are we going up to... Because the other side of the coin is, do we want to get to him to fight him as at our peak? The more we fight other things, are we weakening ourselves?
Possibly, but we need to also consider about how we actually kill him. I mean, we've taken some time to kind of study the situation, haven't we? And we know, like, driving a wooden stake through his heart will work to an extent, but it'll only freeze him for a period of time. It won't end him eternally, will it? Let's open the doors. Or do we go and explore the other staircase? Well, I imagine it all links together. Like
Yeah, it should come around eventually, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to start calling you Jake Jenkins.
Jakey. Janky.
So, which direction? Or not?
I heed the counsel.
We've cleared that floor, haven't we? We've been everywhere on the first floor, the main ground floor that we.
Well, there were two other things when we were on the ground floor, wasn't there? There was either the staircase. There was a staircase to like the
it was
north.
just stairs, wasn't it? Yeah. So we're going up
And
or
then-
down.
I think we go downstairs, because if we go downstairs, we're going to find the crypt, aren't we? Or some kind of catacombs or something under the castle. And there's going to be some Gucci fights down there, so let's go down there.
I say go downstairs.
Do it then.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take you to. I'm going to force this so it. Let me force it so you guys get a decent overview. You can see, and then just change it so.
What about?
Okay. Go on, Jake. What were you saying?
I was just thinking, if we were going to do a short rest any time, is it best to do it in the church where we're on hallowed ground?
So being attuned to that could be really handy.
Especially if we're just about to go into a crypt. Let's do it.
Okay. So short rest in the chapel I can give you for free. You can have that. Nothing else seems to happen. Lewis, would you roll D20 for me, please?
I don't like this D20 shit.
5.
Grazie. So you take time, you take stock, you lick your wounds if you have. I think it's only Lewis that's got a minor hit point difference. It is a short rest, and you can now attune to your icon.
Yep.
Sam. Okay, this. I do. It's a wonderful castle, but it's so complicated. So to go down, misses. You've got two options. You've got the spiral staircase that you came to initially, or from the chapel you've got down there.
I feel
I
from
think the one's in the chapel.
One in the chapel. Okay, right. Let me just
Makes
catch
the most
up.
sense.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what I'll do, let me drag your tokens round to there. And then now that Damon's got his light sword, let me just pop you there. What happens as you get to this point here, as you start to come around the corner, you can see what looks like a recently constructed masonry wall, which seems to block your way going down.
We had somebody that could look at stones and things.
And if only we hadn't just found a mace.
I feel like I don't need to know anymore.
All you use me for is my stone knowledge.
This comes back to that first time we brought Brungrik in, doesn't it, Lou? Where I made a point of doing a stone cunning check on Krezk's city walls. Dave was like, for fuck's sake.
Wait, I'm a stonemason.
Is this all I'm good for?
Give me a perception check, please, Sam.
What does it
Okay.
give me? Never remember.
It's you as you're studying this wall. This it is relatively well. It is recent, not relatively recent. It is recent. This is an ancient old castle. So all of this, the mortar and stones have been constructed, but you also notice there's a crack, and you can see this constructed wall is. I mean, it's a good 3 feet thick. But the crack runs all the way through. The wall itself is, it's not weight bearing, but it would take you a considerable amount of time to break through it, and it would be noisy.
2 options. We find another route, or I spend very expensive spell slots to create a doorway.
Spell slots are in high demand at the moment, I'd say. Let's not worry about spell slots.
It's a 4th level spell.
Nah,
Stone shape.
that's too much of a waste. I think we either need to smash it down or we find another route. Let me just look in my adventuring pack. Because I actually have got a hammer. And I don't know if I've got some pittons as well in there. That could maybe use as a chisel. Just to
Got some
shove straight.
smith's tools.
No, I think I've only got a hammer. Oh, I've got a crowbar though.
You could just go down the other stairs. Are we thinking that set up to go down that?
I feel like we've been set up to go down that way, but then if we, by the time we've smashed a big hole in this wall, they're going to know we're coming this way anyway.
Use the spell slot. Use the spell.
It's a big waste of a 4th level spell. Well, it's a big use of a 4th level spell slot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because what other things could you cast for 4th level?
There's not a boosted spell. Wall of Fire, Guardian of Faith, Aura of Purity.
We go down the stairs then.
Who are you going to listen to? Me or Darth Vader? Or Jake?
Well, this is why I said it. It's like, if it was a lower spell, I had 3 or 4 spell slots, I wouldn't be as bothered. But I've literally only got 2 4th level spells. It is
There's a
big
reason there's a wall here. Wall was put in front of us to deter us. Go through the wall. We actually see through the crack.
You struggle. You can shine your torch or a light source. So yes, you can. And it looks like, as far as you can tell, that there's cobwebs, dust beyond, but the stairs do descend further down beyond.
Can I take the sun sword and
Qui-Gon Jinn it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not hot to touch, so you can't Qui-Gon Jinn it. The other stairs, just for completeness, the other complete ones do go up and down as well as this one. Goes up and down. That changes anything.
mean, we could at
What's
least
the-
go up to. Maybe it's to make us go up. That's the.
What's the wall made out of?
The new one,
Yeah.
mortar and stone. It's
And we can physically see the mortar as well.
Yeah.
So if I was to cast like prestidigitation and warm up the mortar so we can push the bricks out, would that work?
it would. It's still going to take time to do, and it's still going to be noisy. You're not going to be able to control the fall of the stones if you do it that way. So with the use of magic and with it just being a cantrip, it would still take you like an hour or so to get through, which was perhaps shorten the time a little bit, but not a great deal.
I'm going to cast Stone Shape and create a doorway.
Okay, right. So yeah, a doorway appears. Does it just shift? Does it just vanish then?
You touch a stone object, medium size or smaller, or a section of stone more than 5 feet, any shape that suits your purpose. Shape a large rock into a weapon.
Okay.
Or make a small passageway through a wall, so long as the wall is less than 5 feet.
Yeah, that's fine.
I've got the best soundboard for this because I feel victorious.
Nice. Yeah. So the stair continues to descend into the darkness in front of you. You continue down. The darkness sprawls in front of you and it starts to get very cold. You descend carefully and warily for a good, what feels longer. It feels like 10-20 minutes, but it's in reality still 2 minutes, but it's a good trudge down. You're going a long, long way down into the bowels of Castle Ravenloft, and you eventually make sure I'm getting this correct. Because I don't want to skip anything at this point. The high tower K59, so that's the top. Nine, yeah. Okay, let's load you a new map. So, take your characters out. Oh, wait a minute. Brungrik and Dave.
Grab a quick drink.
Okay, dude. Yeah, it's going to take a while for this to load, I reckon.
Oh, quickly grab.
Okay, dude. Yeah, right. Let's show you this. Where are we? 10 o'clock. Okay. punched me mic. Right, how are we doing? We're still loading.
78 of 80.
Okay. So I'll give you... Sam's back. Cool. I'll give you the description as you descend. Buried deep beneath the keep of Ravenloft lie ancient catacombs with arched ceiling supports, supported by wide hollow columns that double as crypts. Cobwebs hang limp in the musty air. A thick fog clings to the floor, which is covered in putrid waste. The black ceiling is moving. You are hundreds of feet below Castle Ravenloft. In front of you, as you're in this large, if you think not quite as grand or as large, but you think of the Fellowship of the Rings, where Gandalf reveals the mines of Moria. As light cascades down, you can see these arches supporting what looks like sepulchral buildings. There's little doorways into crypts. You're now in the bowels of Castle Ravenloft, and in front of you, as the light travels down, you can see 4 crypts immediately in front of you with doors on this central chamber leading through. Above you are thousands of bats just crawling and moving, and as the light passes over them, there's a slight disturbance as they get used to the fact that someone has entered and brought light into their world. And it's soon obvious that the gunge on the floor is guano.
Can we make coffee out of it?
Make a constitution saving throw.
It's a civet.
Is one of the coffees out of bat poop, or am I making that one? Cats.
It's a civet.
It's ferret shit. Isn't it? Is it ferret shit that you can make out of?
I thought it was bad shit. I thought
well,
I seem to recall that Stephen Fry once bought it for Prince Charles as a present. What do you buy for the man who's got everything? Right, who's not loaded? 5 of 5. There you go. So you should all be there. So you've descended the stairs as the corridor leads west to east, but you've also got different directions going up and down, north and south. What do you want to do?
Yes, start exploring the crypts.
Yeah.
Let's go back upstairs and go down the other way.
Yeah, well done, Lewis. So, what I'm going to do then is, as you approach each of these crypts, what I'm going to try and do is multitask now and keep a bookmark in where the map is, and then read the other one, and then also press spacebar to let you know which one's which. So as you approach this crypt, in fact, let me take Brungrik, you're closest. As you move closer, you can see that this the light opens up and illuminates more of these entryways. Definitely on night, aren't we? Yeah, someone's got massive vision. I think that's going to be Valkyn. Yeah. So on here, on this crypt, above the crypt, I'll give you a little bit more information about the crypt before I rush too far, because we're getting into some nitty gritty now. So each crypt is sealed with a chiseled stone, what looks like a doorway. Brungrik, I mean, you without a roll, you're able to tell everyone that these are they're tight-fitting stone slabs. They're 3 feet wide and 5 feet tall. You're not sure how thick they're going to be. But it would require a decent bit of effort to actually remove these if you wished to do so. The one that I've just pointed to, this one here, says above it on a plaque. It says Irina Kolyana, wife.
Dear.
Ooh,
I'm trying to open it.
would be the first one we come across, wouldn't it?
Still alive.
Can I try and open it?
Sure. So you...
And I've got the crowbar as well.
Yeah. Okay, let's have... So that gives you advantage, doesn't it, with the crowbar? Let's have... You can have a strength check, athletics check if you wish. Advantage.
Guidance.
23.
23. Okay. So in a burst of energy, a burst of adrenaline as you read Irina Kolyana, wife on this crypt, you cram your crowbar in, wrench it open. They're 3 inches thick, these stone slabs, perfectly fitted stone slabs. As it falls back and you shine your light inside, and you see inside Irina, completely immobile, unresponsive, eyes closed, just sort of leaning gently against the back of the crypt. Yep.
Have a like very firm look at her to see if she looks like she's a vampire. Are there any like obvious tells or cues?
You can have a medicine check if you.
16?
16. No, she looks intact. You can see the rise and fall of her chest. It's very slow. Possibly less than 8 resps a minute. But she looks...
Get a pulse ox and anti-tidal on a day. Make sure.
She's GCS3, mate. You have to get an airway.
Keep them out on standby just in case.
her lips are pink. She is a decent colour. She's not perspiring. She just seems to be asleep.
I'm going to use protection from good and evil on myself before I enter the crypt.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna step in to see if I can rouse her.
Okay.
Brungrik
So
guard.
yeah. Okay. I think. Yeah. Everyone else should be looking around. Concerned. Van Richten's probably going to stand there. Esmeralda would sort of be create some kind of cover for them. As you approach, as Esmeralda's sort of upright, as Irina's upright with her arms closed. As you, how are you going to rouse her?
I'm probably going to try and speak to her first. I'm going to be like,
Hope with the sun sword.
Irina, it's us. We're here for you.
Okay, there's no response.
I'm probably then gonna gradually, as I get closer, eventually reach out and place my hand upon her shoulder.
She screams, her eyes open, and it's this terror of just abject terror as she screams and screams, "No, no, don't bury me, don't bury me!" And she continues to scream even as you reach out.
I'm gonna try and reassure her. I'm gonna be like, Irene, you're not buried anymore. We've broken the seal. We're here. You're
Okay.
safe. You're with us.
Okay. Make a persuasion roll then. Let's have some kind of roll to see how successful you are. And yeah, that's enough until eventually she slows down, stops the screaming, but her respiratory rate is still. She's panting. She's looking around, wild-eyed, and she looks at you and then looks beyond you and looks through you. She's just in an absolute emotional wreck. Give me a second. I don't know if what I'm looking for. I don't know if Van Richten can actually do it.
I think now that we're back with her, though, I think Damian would like, even though he's tried to persuade her, he'd be like, "I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. You should have been safe somewhere else, and the fact that he's managed to capture you and bring you to here was my doing. We left you unprotected. You know, you should never have been through this."
She doesn't seem to be paying any attention to you at all. She stopped screaming, but she's still panting. She's still breathing heavily. But Van Richten will step forward. He's going to cast Lesser Restoration just to see if it's going to help, and it does slow her respiratory effort down. But she's still looking round in terror.
Is she still fixed in that position, like she can't move?
No, she's free. She was a second ago before Van Richten has cast his spell to try and ease her suffering. She looked like she was ready to bolt, and she was looking for an opportunity to just run. But now she's calmed a little bit, but she's still got that sort of 1,000-yard stare. She's
Brungrik assessor to see if there's anything that he can do.
you could. Yeah, give me a medicine check then from you. So, see if
Teased me with a 19 then.
yeah. So Van Richten's going to step up, and he will say she's catatonic. We could restore her. We'd need powerful restorative magic, or unfortunately, I'm unable to calm her emotions as it stands. But the options are clear. We're not going to be able to help her mental status while she's still in here, and we can't leave unless we destroy the devil. The simple choice is take her with us or leave her in here.
Could we not leave the castle?
This is our chance to kill the devil.
Rise. Damian's going to be really torn because he knows that being locked down here is the source of, or has been part of the source of her pain. But at the same time, it was Damian's insistence last time on taking her with her that put her in danger in the first place. Well, I think he'd have had her anyway, but
I mean, really stupid question. Why don't we just give her that idol thing and leave her in the church? Or is that a bit too out there?
I guess the issue is if she decides that she's going to leave the church of her own accord. And
gain
she's
nothing.
not on hallowed ground.
Well, she deserves to die. That's stupid.
That'll serve you right for being thick. I guess now we've cracked the door open. She's not actually that safe in the crypt anyway, is she?
At least we take her with us. She can't do the wedding, can he?
Well, but what my question is, why has he left her down here if the intention was to do the wedding? It just seems like it doesn't fit with his plans. He invited us
Again,
here for a
this
wedding,
is
yet
really
his bride's
far-fetched
in the
as well.
crypt.
We've got a church upstairs and we've got a cleric. Why doesn't just one of us marry her? Then he can't marry her then.
I do enjoy your spin on the
Brungrik like, you can't make me.
He can.
Like an arranged marriage.
Even Strahd can't defy the sanctity of marriage.
Well, you could just get divorced once they kill him, can't you? Hey, half problem solved.
Yeah, he could go Henry VIII on this shit. Just
That's
to
it, dissolution of the Ravenloft Church.
Yeah, Church of Barovia. I'm just going to offer you a little bit more information on the other crypts as you're going through this. Morden Kanan will go backwards and forwards, and he will tell you that I'm going to go here for this crypt, and then the two to the south. I'm not going to go any further than that. So this one first. Morden Kanan will report to you that one says it's the crypt of Artemis. And then in brackets it says builder of the keep, and then there's a little sentence that says thou standest amidst the monument of his life. The one to the south says Patrina Velikovna, bride, and the one next to that says Sir Eric Vonderbooks. These are all crypts of various notable dignitaries, or, well, he's got two now that says wife. So what we'll do, chaps, because we're approaching 10:30 now, so should we make a decision as to what you want to do for next time, and then leave it here? Do we continue your discussion?
I mean, to be fair, I don't think we've found everything that we need to find within the crypt. I think we need to carry on exploring the crypt.
I mean, we could spend ages popping every one of these open and seeing anything of value or one.
But we found Irina, which means at the moment he can't marry her at the minute, which was his main objective. So at least Irina's safe from Strahd. But I think this was bricked up more from. I don't know whether it's just bricked up because of Irina, or whether there's anybody else down here that we need to find. But my next suggestion would be pop the other wife's crypt, because it might be interesting to see if she resembles Irina, if she's still alive.
Pop all of them for me. You never know what we're going to find, do you?
I'm game for popping them all.
Back to box chocolate.
Never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get. So we're popping this one to the south. And what we're doing with Irina.
Right one. Well, whilst we're in the crypt at the moment, she can stay in there, maybe with the reassurance of Morden, Kane, and Esmeralda, and Richter, Van Richten.
Okay. So we're going to go through the same process. I'm not going to make you roll. Let's open that crypt for you then. So crypt 21.
21.
Yeah, in here. From as you manage to get the crowbar in and lever the door open, from the darkness comes a horrifying visage, a spectral elf maiden twisted by the horror of her undead existence. She wails, and the very sound claws at your soul. If you wish to position yourself, gentlemen, we will roll initiative.
This one here, isn't it?
Yep, this one just here. Lewis, I rolled a 1. Yeah, so very different to Irina, as this what you identify as a spectral elf, this banshee, wails and starts to attack. So, gentlemen, should we fight the banshee first?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And he needs to
I want to defeat the whole dungeon.
Oh, I'd like to make an attack roll this session.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I think we're just waiting on Valkyn's roll.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
Done. So Damian, you're as this undead creature reaches towards you. What's Damian going to do?
He's going to step in with the sun sword, and he's going to make an attack against her for a 28.
20. Yeah, that hits.
With 16 plus 4, 20 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Bear with me. For 20 points of radiant damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he's going to smack her again for 21.
21 hits.
Sorry, Dave. What did you want to do?
So 19 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, bonus action. Punch the bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, it was almost a natural 20, but that's a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Oh, not bad. 11 points of bludgeoning damage. But obviously, it's non-magical.
Yeah. Is that... it was because you rolled a d6 before for unarmed strike. Is this...
Yeah, but then I've gone on my bonus action side, and it's +9, and then it's 1d6 plus 5.
Is it that's a monk thing then?
I imagine so.
Okay. Right. So it's like punching jelly. As you connect, it doesn't do full damage as you suspect.
So it just says when you use the attack action. Oh no, I would have to roll it. It would just be a d6 without the modifier.
Okay. Well, you rolled
because
6.
it says when you so when you use the attack action with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon. Oh no, that was my monk weapon because I'm using the longsword, which still counts as one of my monk weapons.
Okay.
So you
Easy
can
me.
make a one unarmed as a bonus action. So yeah, that was fine.
Okay. Anything else?
No. So it was as is.
Okay. Takes us to Valkyn.
Yeah. So move in growth. I'm going to use. I've not equipped the mace yet, so I'm still using my ordinary weapons. If that's all right.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will use a magical dagger attack. 17.
17 hits.
Well, 9 points plus sneak attack.
21.
1 points.
Just double check. Yep, you've killed my toys again. But how does she die?
I'm going to stab her right in the ovaries. It would just be kind of a sweeping attack as a sweeping to my bestie. I'm going to run in and just kind of straight across the throat, and she's just going to scream and go, "Ah, what a world!"
Yeah, what a world! What a world! You as you kill this and the banshee screams, you do. She does disappear, just melts into the background. But then you notice that in the crypts, especially Valkyn would notice that the crypt contains large quantities of coins. And there's thousands of different I'm trying to think of the word. Delineation? Different types of coins on the floor. So there's platinum pieces, gold pieces, electrum, silver, and copper pieces, and they're buried, piled on the floor.
I've learned my lessons.
Emotions.
Taking gold from strange places, so I'm not gonna take any of this gold because, you know, it's against my nature, but I'm not actually going to touch this gold.
Okay, it's nice to know. Nice to know that I've destroyed your looting instincts in this campaign.
Yeah.
Okay, chaps. So I am going to call the session there because because I'm old and I need to sleep at some point. So yeah, you're now in the bowels of Ravenloft. Let me give you more of a view. Let me pan out for you so you can see, with Valkyn's drow senses, he's been able to tell you the layout of this place. It is vast. It's huge. You've not been able to see all the way to the east, to the end walls, and you don't know where north and south finishes. But each of these square rooms seems to be a crypt. Which, as I say, is where we'll finish this session. And I'll try and arrange the next one soon.